Good afternoon, family. Grand Rising, joyous rising. Welcome. It's so good to see everybody. Check in. Let us know where you're hailing from, family. Welcome today. It's so good to be alive on this April the 2nd. A very wonderful day to commemorate, and I will tell you all why in just a minute. Happy Liberation Day. President Trump is not playing, family. Today is a day for us all to be so excited because it is a day that will commemorate two things. It will commemorate the United States of America taking her power back over these countries that have really just railroaded us in terms of how they taxed us. And we will commemorate the Congress Coinage Act of 1792. That's the second part that a lot of people are not discussing. So as somebody said, let's go, family. Welcome and keep checking in. Today is April the 2nd, 2025, and the time is 2:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is April the 2nd again, the day after April Fool's Day. And that's why President Trump did not make certain moves on the 1st, because he said, y'all might think I'm playing around. You might think this is a joke. So I'm going to make a deadline for April the 2nd for all these countries that have been taxing America out of the, I don't know, just like crazily, for imported goods. We're any tax that you've given on us, we're going to meet you. We're going to meet you right where you are. So if you taxed us high on our imported goods, we're going to tax you high, because historically, any countries where we would import our goods to them would exact a high tax on us. But we wouldn't tax those countries for importing their goods into America. And in fact, we would not only not tax the companies, but we would tax the people. So President Trump said on the campaign trail, he warned everybody before he even got in office. And this second time, he said, I'm going to do away with the IRS, the Internal Revenue Services, and I am going to create the External Revenue Services, where I will exact taxes and tariffs on other countries. So all the people in America will actually experience a whole lot more wealth when we stop taxing the people. And that's the way it used to be. You didn't tax the people. It's unconstitutional. It's against our republic, family, to tax we the people. So let's get into what the news is today. This is a day to be very excited, family. So on today, President Trump will impose taxes or reciprocal taxes on countries that have taxed us. So any countries that import goods like China, Venezuela, Vietnam, any country that, who else? Any country, Israel, that imports anything into America, they will be taxed at this same rate that they tax us. So what is Liberation Day? It is a day where President Trump will boost the manufacturing here in America by making it more expensive for companies to ship their products into the United States, imposing reciprocal tariffs on those countries, according to today, USA Today article. So again, he's going to boost domestic manufacturing in our country by making it more expensive for companies to ship products into America. So now we don't have to rely on those products that were coming into America. In fact, President Trump said it when he first got into office. He told those companies that had left America, come home or pay up. So all those companies and big manufacturing companies and factories that left the big cities like Detroit, Cleveland, other places here in America, thought they were going to get away with not having to pay taxes. They moved to China. And then when President Trump had those tariff wars or tax wars in his first administration, a lot of those companies actually left China and went to Vietnam. Well, President Trump is telling those companies, you're going to come back home and we're going to boost manufacturing here in America, and we're going to boost the economy. And you got until April the 2nd to do it. Oh my God. He's only been in office, February, March, less than 3 months. That's what you call masculine energy. See, this is why people don't like real men. People don't like men because men call you to task. They have order, they have discipline, and they mean what they say, and they say what they mean. That's divine masculine energy. And people get real frantic and they try to make you make fun of a masculine man or masculine energy and tell you it's toxic or it's horrible. But you know what? One thing I love about President Trump, he says something, what he's going to do, then he does it, then he tell you, I did it, just like I told you I would. I gotta love it. So as an aside, I want to say when he came in, he said he's going to get rid of the tariffs on the people and put taxes on other companies in other countries. And he said he was going to get rid of a lot of this illegal, unlawful migration that's been coming into this country. And people thought he was playing. That's why you have all these people protesting and marching, because before they could get away with that, like under the Democratic Party, when all these liberal people were in control. You know, we can just placate to the people's emotions and we can say it's not fair. We can whine and moan and cry like an emotional woman would do if she thought something was wrong, right? And so the Liberal Party played on the emotions of the people. They start marching and protesting and crying and whining and saying it's not fair. And the mainstream media started lying and said if we send people back home that's not supposed to be here illegally, the economy was going to do bad. And or what you're doing is you're separating families. No. If you come to America, come legally and lawfully, and everything will go well. Well, now that President Trump is here, let me tell you, he is not playing. And he couldn't care less if people are protesting and marching and crying and whining and falling all out. If you don't obey the law, you have to go home, okay? You have to take care of your own people first. That's ridiculous. If somebody comes into your house and they're just living on your couch and walking into your refrigerator and eating up all the food, you're going to say, no, I can't let you do that. I have to protect what's mine, okay? That's all President Trump is doing, and I'm here to celebrate it. So, okay, back to Liberation Day. President Trump said he's going to boost domestic manufacturing here by calling all the people to come back home, and he's going to make it more expensive for those companies that ship products into America. In fact, he called those countries countries, the Dirty 15. What is the Dirty 15? It's a group of countries who have large trade imbalances with the United States. And I'll let you see the article here. He calls the Dirty 15. Hilarious. The Dirty 15, as United States President Trump Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, are a group of countries who have large trade imbalances with the United States. And he said the clock is ticking down to President Trump's Liberation Day, when the United States president has threatened to unleash a wide range of tariffs against countries running persistent trade imbalances within the United States. This move, which comes as Trump has been making unprecedented use of presidential powers, is driven by his insistence that the world's biggest economy has been ripped off by every single country in the world, and his conviction that reciprocal tariffs are needed to restore parity. What are reciprocal tariffs? You put a tariff on me in my country, I'm going to match you. In other words, like the young people say, keep that same energy that you've always had, because when you come at me crazy, I'm going to match your energy. You know, in layman's terms, and Generation Z's terms, and the millennial terms. Keep that same energy and I'm going to match your energy. That's what President Trump is saying. Yes, our companies left in the early 90s because of greed, and that's egregious. Good morning, Grand Rising family. Let me calm down. Happy Liberation Day. Come on in the room, check in, let us know where you're hailing from, family. Hit the like button as you come in, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. So the new tariffs go into effect as of today. In fact, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said today, April the 2nd, will go down as one of the most important days in modern American history. She said these new tariffs would take effect immediately, or as the young people say, immediately, not tomorrow, not we'll see what you're going to do, we'll give you a little rope. No, these new tariffs take effect immediately. But what's interesting is when President Trump said he was going to do this and his White House press secretary mimicked what he said, economists tried to scare people. Economists said that it's going to plunge the economy into a downturn when President Trump puts these tariffs on these countries. How is going to cause the economy to go into a downturn? You have to always keep your emotions in check, family, when you hear things from the mainstream media or when you read their articles, because they will try to make you afraid. They will try to ruffle your feathers and make you think that, President Trump doesn't know what he's doing. We should all be afraid. And they will use their experts to try to instill fear. But stay encouraged. Mama Kia got you, okay? Here in this article by Yahoo News, it says Trump is set to announce new tariffs as he takes a political and financial gamble. The man is not gambling, okay? He knows what he's doing. He's an economist. He has a degree in economics. He is a businessman. He's a great negotiator. And I'm going to tell you why he hasn't failed and why he knew these countries were going to back down. Because he's been doing this as a billionaire and a businessman in his life for decades. He knows what he's doing. Washington, after weeks of White House hype and public anxiety, it will announce on Wednesday a barrage of what President Trump calls reciprocal tariffs on friends and foe alike. He don't care if you're a friendly nation, if we are allies and we get along with each other, we're in allegiance. If you taxed America, you gonna get the same. I'm gonna match your energy, friends and enemy or foe alike. The article says the White House is exuding confidence despite the political and financial gamble. It goes on to talk about the details of the tariffs, and I'll let you read that at your own leisure. Oh, but let me show you how they try to make you afraid. Where does it say economists? There's a part in here where they say economist says that this isn't a good idea. Hold on. None of the warning signs about a falling or failing stock market or consumer sentiment turning morose has caused the administration to publicly second guess its strategy. So economists and experts are warning that the stock market could collapse and that consumer sentiment will go down. And then there's a part in here that says economists warn against it. I'll have to let you read that in the interest of time because I have something to do like in a few minutes. So I'll try not to stay on too long. So what else is in the news? Let's see, family. President Trump says that these tariffs will target countries that impose fees on United States exports with plans to match those fees. That's what I mean by match your energy. And I'll leave that here, that article that says that right here. Let me show it to you. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Right here, this article came out, let me see, today. Here are key points. President Trump declared April 2nd as Liberation Day. Let me get back to that. Sorry about that, family. I think I lost the article. Let me bring it back to you. Did I lose the article? Hold on, family. Okay, here we go. Let us know what you think about President Trump putting tariffs on countries that put tariffs on us. And I want to know your thoughts because they're saying that consumers are not going to appreciate this. But when you think about it, if countries were to say, you put a high tariff on us, we just won't import anything into America, who cares? Because we know how to manufacture things ourselves, and we already have companies that do so. They just need to come home. But I'm going to show you what actually happened. These countries didn't say, oh my God, you're putting tariffs on us, so we can't do business with you. No, that's not what they said at all. But first, let me show you these key points of this article. Here. I can't find that article for some reason. I just had it up. President Trump said tariffs. Okay, I got it. What is Liberation Day? Here are the key points. President Trump declared today as Liberation Day, marking the implementation of new tariffs on imports. The tariffs will target countries that impose fees on United States imports, with plans to match those fees. That's what I mean, match their energy. Specific details about the tariffs remain unclear, but auto tariffs on imported cars and car parts are expected to take effect on tomorrow, April the 3rd. Other tariffs will take effect today. So what happened in response to President Trump saying he's going to put tariffs on the dirty 15 or on those countries that imposed tariff, or in other words, duties or taxes on our imports into their country, is that nations started saying, we're going to back down. Okay. Before they were trying to talk that talk, like, if you put tariffs on us, we're going to put tariffs on you. But that's not what happened at all. In fact, Israel said that they're going to remove all tariffs, taxes, and or duties from any United States imports. It wasn't just Israel, but who else? Vietnam. And I told you all that yesterday. Vietnam said the same thing. Here we go. Let me show you Israel making that statement first, and then I'll show you how Vietnam said they're going to remove their tariffs. The article says here, you see how all of these, these ads keep coming up. Israel announced on Tuesday. Remember, I told you all Tuesdays are very important days to the elite. For some reason, they always make their big announcements or major announcements on Tuesday. So keep your eyes open, because all kind of stuff is going to pop off right now. April is spring. It's a new beginning. As Chief Max said, animals are coming out of hibernation. Flowers are blooming. It's the real spring. So it's a real new year. So you can expect a lot to happen in April. But Tuesdays, they love to make major announcements. Israel announced on Tuesday that it is lifting all tariffs being imposed on United States products at the direction of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli leaders. All imports. So for all the economists that said, oh no, this is going to be a bad decision for America to match their energy and to put tariffs, taxes, or duties on these other countries, and it will cause a downturn in economically, what actually happened is that the people, the leaders that were over Israel and over Vietnam and other countries said, we're going to back down. Okay, because this is how real men get down. For all the people that didn't grow up around men and don't know how men act, for all the people that, maybe just don't understand masculine energy, when men go toe to toe with each other, they know who got the bigger kahunas. They know who have the biggest testicles and testes, okay? They might talk a big game, but when it comes down to it, and they know they're in a room or in a space with a man, they're going to back down because they already sized up that man. And they said, look, if I'm going to say something back to this man who I know have the biggest testicles, then somebody going to die in this room. And I don't want to be the one, because that's how real men get down. They don't go tit for tat crying and you did this and you said that. No. A man says, I'm going to do this. Another man says, no, you're not. The one with the biggest testicles says, yes, I am going to do it. And what you going to do about it? And then the man backs down because he knows it's going to be some bloodshed. And not only is he going to lose his life, his wife is going to lose her life. The children are going to lose their life. And there's going to be a lot of casualties of war. Okay. President Trump is not playing. When he said, I'm going to put tariffs on these countries, Israel not only reduced the tariffs, they cut all tariffs, duties, taxes. It's the same thing, okay? They're all synonymous with those words, are synonymous with each other. All tariffs on goods that were United States good imported into their country. Israel said that. Who else? Vietnam cuts tariffs, and other countries. But I'm just going to talk to you about those two. Those are the two most pressing, because everybody knows that the Q movement and many people in the military said Israel last. So is whatever Israel say, we know every other country has already done. Israel was the last country to actually bow bow their knee. But Vietnam gave United States tax breaks ahead of the tariff announcements. So the tariff announcements came a while ago, days ago, but President Trump gave everybody a deadline of April the 2nd. Well, ahead of that, Israel conceded. Ahead of that, Vietnam conceded, and they're cutting taxes on U.S. imports and improving Starlink services ahead of President Trump's announcement of reciprocal taxes on this Wednesday. Via a statement on its website, the government announced a reduction in its import taxes on ethanol from 10% to 5%. This is Vietnam. On liquefied natural gas from 5% to 2%, and on some types of cars from 64% to 32%. Many agricultural products like chicken, nuts, apples, cherries, and raisins will also receive tax reductions. Can somebody please explain to me why we are getting food from Vietnam? Like we don't have farmers that can grow food here? This is ridiculous. The change went into effect on Monday, March the 31st, ahead of the deadline, which was today, April the 2nd. So happy Liberation Day, family. We're no longer going to be fully depending on other nations, and the nations that do import goods into America, they know that they're going to receive the same tax. And this is good for our economy, and it's good for we, the American people. That's not the only reason why we're celebrating today. Today, known as Liberation Day, is also a commemoration of the Congress Coinage Act of 1792. That Congress Coinage Act was a time when Congress actually affixed the dollar to silver and gold. And that happened ahead of us moving to the official gold standard. So we're commemorating the Coinage Act of 1792 on the same date that President Trump gave a deadline for these countries to remove the taxes of imported American goods into their nation. That's very, very key when you think about our country going back to the gold standard. You already know we've been setting the groundwork and laying the groundwork for America returning to the gold standard. And that's why 46 states here in America, according to the Sound Money Defense League, took off or repealed the state sales taxes from the sales of precious metals. So removing state sales tax from precious metals means that you're now acknowledging silver and gold as money instead of acknowledging silver and gold as a commodity. So we are moving back to the gold standard. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is calling me from South Carolina. And I'll show you, let me show you what that is, the Congress Coinage Act. And interestingly enough, gold continues to climb and break new highs, reach new highs every single day, family. So this is an indication that the United States dollar, the USD, is losing its value, its purchasing power. But gold and silver are maintaining their wealth or their power and increasing its value. It's an economic principle that as the dollar decreases in value, silver and gold, real money, increase in value. So when you see gold continue to break new highs, you know that the United States dollar, the old dollar, the fiat USD, is losing its value, is losing its purchasing power, which is good news for us because now we're going to be using sound money, real money. This article says April the 2nd weaves together two remarkable threads of American history, uniting past innovation with modern commemoration. On April 2nd, 1792, the United States Congress enacted what's called the Coinage Act, which was a pivotal law that solidified the nation's early monetary system. It was signed under President George Washington, this act, and it established the dollar as the official currency and launched a bimetallic system, meaning that it linked silver and gold to the dollar. Overseen by the newly founded United States Mint, it standardized coins by their precious metal content, fostering trust and stability in a young economy. Now we fast forward to 2025, and President Donald Trump declared April 2nd as Liberation Day. According to the article, this is a bold celebration of economic renewal through aggressive trade policies. An act, if coincidental, nods to the day's historic financial roots. So the article goes on to say that while the Coinage Act of 1792 didn't usher in the gold standard fully, later it did cement this as the gold standard in the 19th century, and it laid critical groundwork. The Coinage Act of 1792 laid critical groundwork with its practical yet forward-thinking design. So we're commemorating the forward-thinking design of the Coinage Act that Congress passed in 1792 on this day, April the 2nd, the day after April Fool's. So it makes me wonder why they even came up with this April Fool's Day, April the 1st, like being something that's a joke that people should laugh about, or you should say something and then say, oh, psych your mind, I was just joking, it's not real. I don't know why they came up with all that, but I can tell you that President Trump made this day, April the 2nd, a deadline, because he said, if I do it on April the 1st, you guys are going to think it's a joke. And I don't play games. I'm not here to play patty cake, baker, man. I'm not here to do it. But I will tell you all something, as I announced earlier in the week, that occurred on April the 1st. April 1st became the day that Iraq became the transportation hub of the world, and they connected their new system to over 66 countries in the world. So that now transportation of goods will be quicker, it'll be easier, and it will increase the demand for the Iraqi dinar. So now that Iraq is now the transportation hub of the world and they have a new system that, according to many articles, is going to raise the demand of the Iraqi dinar, which, when you know the law of supply and demand, when you have a high demand for something, then that would decrease the supply. And what will that do when the supply of the Iraqi dinar is decreased? That means they're going to reinstate the rate. They'll make the rate higher. Okay, so that's what's happening in Iraq. We just talked about Vietnam. Vietnam cut taxes, tariffs, or duties on imported American goods, which is going to increase the demand for the Vietnamese dong, which, since it's going to increase the demand, that means the supply is going to shrink of the Vietnamese dong. Since the supply of the Vietnamese dong is going to shrink, that's going to make it more valuable, which means they're going to increase the rate of the Vietnamese dong. On the heels of all that, many nations, including Iraq, has stated that they're going digital. When you say that you're going to digitalize your currency, what you're saying in effect is you're going to remove the fiat, the dollars, the paper from the streets. You're going to take it off the streets. So these countries saying we're going digital, we're going to digitize our currency. It means now they're going to take them off the street, which is another signal or indication that they're about to reinstate their country's currencies back to their pre-sanctioned value and pre-war value. So we're going digital. And President Trump said he's going to make America the digital capital of the world. So get ready, family, celebrate. It is a happy time to be alive. It's a wonderful and exciting time to be alive. So much is going on, family, that we should keep our vibrations high and expect a lot of financial news to come out. In fact, some people are saying that we could even see, not only a revaluation, a reinstatement of currencies happening right before our eyes and see that mimicked on the Forex, but some people are saying it's a possibility that we will exchange currencies either April or sometime this spring. And I've been getting a lot of news like from the outside, people that are, prelates in other countries that are saying the same thing, like get ready, Pruitt, Tell the people, get ready. They said, because of who they are and what they do, who they represent, they're saying they're not going to go into detail, but get ready. So it is a new year. It is springtime. It is the time when everything's supposed to blossom and bloom. Today is Liberation Day, where President Trump is liberating not only we as individuals from income taxes, but he's liberating our whole nation from the tariffs and taxes that these countries have put on us for importing our goods. But he's liberating us in so many different ways. It's kind of hard to enumerate all of them. He's liberating us from the deep state, allowing just anybody to come into our country, take up all the resources, and vote for the liberal party and liberal agenda by deporting people who are not here lawfully. Well, we celebrate those that are here lawfully and we welcome them. And of course, we're happy to do business with them. But those that are not lawfully here got to go back home. It feels good to not be oppressed. Finally, after decades and centuries of being oppressed by people that were so-called leaders of our country. And what's interesting about a lot of these so-called leaders is they're not even American. They're not natural born Americans. And that news is coming out day by day. Keep checking in, family. Jeffrey says, Happy New Day. Oh, excuse me. Family's calling. So hold on, family. I apologize for that, family. My family's calling me, so I got to go and help do some help. I think I got to go get the grandchildren. I don't know the situation in Mexico, family, and I apologize that I don't really have enough time to answer questions. Who's having a secret affair? Gary? I don't know. So, and one last thing I want to say is keep your eyes on gold. Keep your eyes on silver and gold. And I did videos on silver and gold and how gold had reached all-time highs. Please keep your eye on the price of gold. That lets you know what's happening in the world, because when the gold goes up, you can see that means that a lot of people are rushing to gold. Okay. So again, remember what I said about supply and demand. People are demanding more precious metals, so the price is going up. Countries have been getting more gold and they have repatriated their gold back to them from the Vatican. Banks are accumulating gold because they need gold and they need foreign assets or tier 2 assets, which are your foreign currencies, because gold and those currencies will maintain the health of the bank. I did a deep dive on that. Look for the video that says good news for currency holders, because in that video, I'll talk about how banks met globally to ensure that they were prepared for currency exchanges because they need those currencies. They need foreign reserves or tier 2 assets. In that video, I also talk about how they needed gold. And that's why Basel III compliancy said that all banks had to now be compliant and have gold in their banks and recognize gold as a tier 1 asset, or recognize gold as money. No longer recognize the USD as money, but recognize gold as money as a tier 1 asset. That video talks about now banks have gold and silver, and banks are ready for currency exchanges. You got it. So that's why I say keep your eyes on gold. Banks have been accumulating gold, making sure they are Basel III compliant, making sure that they're prepared for the gold standard, being in alignment with the Republic that says the only thing that can be used to pay off debts is silver and gold, being in alignment with Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution for our Republic that says that a dollar is a fixed weight in silver, being in alignment too with Congress Coinage Act of 1792 that affixed the dollar to both silver and gold. And that is what we're commemorating on today. Also, you want to watch the price of gold, because when you see gold go up, not only are banks amassing gold and countries amassing gold, but I've done videos on this too. Investors and companies, big companies, are investing in gold because they knew that the tariffs were coming. Once President Trump came in and when they saw he was about to win, all these companies started rushing to gold. They started literally running to gold because they said President Trump is going to put tariffs on us. He's going to start taxing us. So I better get smart and run to gold as a safe haven. And this is why King's World, I keep mentioning this article, said the whole world is rushing back towards gold as money. That article came out February 2023. As soon as it came out, I showed you guys that. And I said, get ready. And gold started climbing. So you had investors going into gold. You also had everyday people saying, I need to maintain my wealth, my retirement account, any US fiat that I have, and I see it losing its value. How am I going to make sure that it maintains its value or increase in value? I have to take that fiat and roll it over into gold. So you got investors, banks, countries, companies, and everyday people rushing to gold. Hence the article, the world is hurtling or rushing to gold as money. So look at the gold price right now, $3,122. It just continues to climb. Silver is $33.75. Silver is going back up, but it had gone up to like $35 a couple of days ago. Family, things are happening since President Trump has come in. Okay, things are changing. We're moving back to the gold standard. And I wonder if that's why something huge happened in Australia. It literally blew my mind to see what's happening in Australia. Gold, that's my family still called me. Gold breached a record of $5,000 per ounce, and it surpassed $5,000 an ounce in Australia. They're celebrating the record price of gold surging past $5,000 an ounce. In short, the price of gold has hit a record, topping $5,000 an ounce. Australia's gold mining city, Kalgoorlie, is celebrating the news, but with some trepidation over how long is this going to last? What's next? The mayor and leading local figures say more money should be invested in their town as a result. Australia's gold capital is celebrating record prices for the precious metal, but there are concerns that hot streaks conceal a two-speed economy with cost of living pressures rife. So they go on to talk about how this is great news for some, not so good news for others. But listen, anything that happens in one part of the world affects the rest of the world. If gold surpassed $5,000 per ounce in Australia, you better believe it's going to continue to climb and probably meet that and go beyond that here in America, because economists have stated, and I've said this through the years, that in order to pay off all the debts in America on the books, you have to revalue gold between $10,000 per ounce and $100,000 per ounce. Okay, so gold will revalue. But what's interesting is silver always follows gold, and silver is more important in some aspects than gold. We have less silver than we have gold. Silver is, for the most part, a byproduct of mining of other metals. So, but you have less silver than you have gold. But let's look at the usage. You use gold historically for money and jewelry. But what do you use silver for? Industrial purposes. You use silver for solar panels, the car, the engine in a car, electric cars, the catalytic converter, refrigerator, stove, microwave ovens, washing machines, dryers, you name it, computers, cell phones. You use silver for so many things. You even use silver for in tools. People eat with silver tools, utensils, silver and gold, as a matter of fact. And we have silver receptors in our brain, meaning that our brain resonates with silver. And that's why many scientists have come up with different healing methods and modalities to address brain eating amoebas, because we have silver receptors in our brain. So silver, family, will surpass gold at some point. So let me just try to make this as clearly as I can. When you think about the gold to silver ratio right now is 90-1. That means it takes 90 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. But historically, it's supposed to be like 13-1. 13 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold. But when you look at the how it used to be, now I'm talking about biblical times, it's about 13-1. Before biblical times, gold to silver was actually 1-1. Okay. Big Swear from Road to Ruta, he has a channel called Road, ROADTO, to Ruta, ROOTA. He says that when you take everything into account, he's a former banker and he studied economics and precious metals and all that. He says we have to go to 1-1, that gold to silver will be the same ratio, meaning you could take 1 ounce of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. So what I always tell people, if the gold to silver ratio right now is 90-1, why not invest in silver? Gold is amazing, but there are more industrial purposes for silver. And we know that ratio is going to shrink, even if it never comes down to 1-1 or 3-1 or 13-1. We know it's going to come down because historically it has been at least 13-1, right? So you can take silver right now, buy up a whole bunch of silver. This is just me. And when that ratio comes down, then you can go and trade it for gold. So a lot of people are trading some of their gold for silver, so because you get more of it, and they're waiting for that ratio to shrink, and then they go investing in gold. But it's up to you how you do it, family. All I'm saying is something is on the horizon. And what I see on the horizon is liberation, joy, prosperity, and peace. Who is this? SSS says, did Mark Z said that Kia Pruitt is a nymphomatic and that is the reason why Gary is always phoning her? YouTube Live. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, Gary. I think you're a troll. Mark Z is a friend of mine. I love him. He always checks on me, make sure I'm good. When my channels are taken down, he makes sure I'm good. He talks to me. I've been on his channel. Look, don't say nothing bad about Mark Z. Y'all got the wrong one. Y'all got the wrong one. Most of our people that follow me follow Mark Z. So let's keep our vibrations high, family. It is a great day to be alive. I'm so happy that you joined me today. Thank you all for the cash apps. I'm sorry I haven't had the time to acknowledge you. My family keeps calling, so I have to run. My cash app is $ Mama Kia 13. That's $ MAMAKIA 13. I appreciate you so much. People are texting me. Oh, it's almost 3:00. That's why I got to go get the grandbabies. I love you, family. We're going to hear more great news today. And we're going to hear more great news as April continues to progress. This is an exciting time to be alive, and I'm here for it. You all decided to be here to experience this. We all decided to be here to experience this, family, because we wanted to help liberate humanity. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. And if you want to get some gold and silver, family, call your local coin company. But if you want the best price in the industry, give Miles Franklin Precious Metals a call at 952-929-7006 or send an email to him or his brokers at info@milesfranklin.com and let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you or that you heard about gold and silver from our show, and you will get the best prices in the industry. Now, those brokers are prepared to answer questions about economics, politics, and how politics, economic, and policies affect gold and silver. They also are prepared to answer questions about why invest in silver and gold. They're also able to answer questions about the difference between gold and silver bullion and constitutional silver, or gold RM notes and gold backs. So family, please look at my last few videos that I did on silver and gold and Nasara, Jazara, liberation, all that, family, and catch yourself up to speed. I got to run. I apologize, but it's that time. I got to go get the grandbabies. I love you all so much. Take courage, keep your vibrations high, and please like and subscribe the video. Let's see if you got any questions, final questions I can answer before I run. Oh, somebody says that they're praying for whoever this person is. Mr. B, everybody's struggling right now, and I understand some are struggling. So I'm sending 2 angels for your support. Have a blessed day. That was sweet. I love you too, Black Coral says, I love you, Dr. Kia. Have a wonderful evening and afternoon, family. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what Mr. B said. I paid 10 grand for a nice little piece 2 years ago. Now it's over 70 grand. I bought a bunch of them after I sold all the stupid gold collecting dust. What gold are you talking about, family? So peace, family. I love you. Take care and make this a very amazing day. Bye-bye.